permission, I'm going to ask for 20 seconds while I go back and show you something. I may not be allowed the country that I live in, as Nejid put it, which is bullshit, I live in Spain. But another thing that went interestingly on this stage in the past couple of minutes is there was an allegation that I did not reveal the title of my speech, which is false. This is a WhatsApp chat from weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this was supposed to be the title of my speech, and Nejid may claim that he never received it because, you know, I don't have the blue marks here. See? That would be in his defense. But he gave me a response. So I made it quite explicitly clear what the title of my speech should be. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow guests. However, in this room, over the past 10 years, actually 8 years in this room, 2 years in another room, I have seen so many things in my history with Toastmasters that it would be a lie to say I was surprised with this. This is Nejid. Meet Nejid. At one point on the stage, I called Nejid like New York, you either love it or hate it. So I was one of the maybe few or more, I don't know how many people came up with it, but one of the few people that actually hated his guts so many years ago. And then things started changing. And now I am past the point of neutrality, heading towards the feeling of love. So when Nejid told me about this, I knew something was going to happen, but I was not prepared for that. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to stand here completely clueless about what am I supposed to say as the memoirs of a novel. Thank you. However, tonight I would like to share with you 3 things that I have learned over the years in this club, as a public speaker, as a fellow Toastmaster, and I'm honored to be here actually to share them with you. And the first one is, case in point, like you all witnessed, in this room, anything and everything can happen at any time, so you better be prepared. Because no matter whether you send the title, no matter whether you send your description, they may get lost, so you may end up standing here looking at the people to the face who have been given a claim, which is not true, and you may have to support that. So that's number one. The second thing is, before I came to the stage, in the air there were a lot of words about perfection, experience, this, that. Let me just please remove all of those, because I don't accept them. I mean, thank you, I'm honored to hear those, but the door, the gate of improvement is wide open, and I'm yet to walk through that. So the second thing is, it doesn't matter whether you joined this club 20 minutes ago or 10 years ago. The heartbeat and the excitement before coming up to the stage is skyrocketing all the time. I mean, I was sitting there as he was talking about me, and I said, oh my God. I was kind of expecting to faint somewhere over there, but I didn't collapse, thank God for that. The second thing is, the heartbeat and the excitement will probably never fade. It may sound like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. But I would like to give you one opinion about it. If you ever found yourself in this spot, be it like the position of a table topic speaker, or you may have delivered your icebreaker, and you may have realized that actually Einstein was right. When you come to this place, time seems to take a speed of its own. Sometimes it goes too fast, and sometimes that green light does not come for ages, ages and ages, case in point. But I may beg you for one thing. If you have ever experienced that, and if you have ever associated it with something negative, like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I'm so nervous, my hands are wet, my tongue is dry, I'm shaking. If you have ever experienced that, please, I beg you, please do not let that stop you. Because I like saying that as you come here, as you make the speeches, as you spend time in this magnificent and magical spot that I like to call that, you first learn that you can manage it, that it doesn't have to take you over. You first learn that you can manage it, and then it becomes enjoyable, and sure enough, later it becomes addictive. You get addicted to it like a coke addict gets addicted to the drugs. And I'm Alper, I'm addicted to public speaking. I am actually addicted to this rush. I'm actually addicted to this heartbeat that I'm having right now. So please, if you ever experience that, don't associate it with something bad. Over time, it gets extremely fun along the way. The third thing and the final thing that I would like to share with you in this room that I have learned over the years is true friendship really doesn't have an age. I mean, in this room, sitting are people who know my deepest, darkest secrets, my deepest, darkest failures, people I have cried on their shoulders, people I have laughed with, people who know me better than my friends who have been my friends for 30 years or 40 years or something like that. So in 10 years, I have gained so many close friends in this room. Some of them are not attending this club anymore. But I have seen that in this room, I think it is our vulnerability that we put on the stage that makes us the real we that we are. And when we do that, something magical happens. I think we get connected on a much stronger level. I see some heads shaking in approval, and that really makes me happy. And I would like to thank to all those people who have made me feel this way. Now, not to portray Necip as a total liar, because, like I said, I'm moving from the hate part. I have passed neutrality. I'm moving towards the love part. Yes, it is true that a certain book has been published. Now, yes, it is true. I'm not lying. But I'm not going to bore you with the details of what happened during the course. It took some time, so maybe in one of my future speeches, maybe I will say that. But I'd like to tell you a couple of good things about publishing a book. One of them is actually holding the thing in your hand, which is, okay, this was on my mind, and then it got on paper, and now I'm holding it. Many people in this room actually held the book before I did, because it was published when I was not here. They voted. I love all of them for taking the photo and sending them to me. And there is actually more than one copy, so there's at least like 10 copies published. But, ladies and gentlemen, one of the better parts of having a book published is having the honor of having that book placed next to the book of a fellow Toastmaster in the bookstore. Many of you know Perchin, and I saw this the other day in one of the shops, and can you imagine the joy that I had by seeing my name next to his on the bookshelf? This is the better part of having published a book. But here is the best part of having published a book, is when your dear friends come to the launch party. Yesterday night was one of the happiest nights of my life. I felt so happy, I felt so excited, and I felt so honored for my dear friends to be there. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I love you all. Like I said, this room has some magical powers, I like saying. So if you're part of this, if you have ever stepped in this room, please stay. Stay with us, use the stage, and come back to join us. Thank you.